I missed this once.
Come in. You don't miss any of them. They just rotate back around. All right, you guys start in the last page. Pull the last page off and put it up front. Some of this is going to be rehashing for some of you guys, and then we'll go right into some new stuff. But I cannot stress this enough in a new year. The basic stuff. One of the greatest lead generation mistakes agents who want to kickstart their career make is to concentrate their efforts on marketing. They spend long hours creating marketing materials and devoting a significant amount of money as well as time to printing and delivering these materials, and then they become frustrated when they don't see a quick return. Now, we've all done that. We spent money and then didn't get a return back. The key to this, you want to go ahead and start lead generating. It's more cost effective. In some cases, doesn't cost you anything. And if it doesn't cost you anything to generate leads, that's where we should start, and then we should build our brand. Okay, you want to do both, but you want to build your brand by starting with leads. Come on in, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Grab one. And we're going to get into the meat of it in a minute. Y'all heard this. Scheduling your time for prospecting, okay? Lead generation is your most critical activity, okay? You have to schedule time for it. It's an appointment, okay? You're fine. You have to schedule time for it. It's an appointment that you make with yourself for your business every day. You've got to block time for lead follow-up. Many successful agents devote the first part of their morning to lead generation and the latter part of to lead follow-up. And then you prepare by making those appointments to show in the afternoon. So that gives you the opportunity to reap the benefits of the lead generating you've just done. 4 laws of lead generation, we went over them last time. Build your database, feed it every day, communicate with it in a systematic way, and service all leads that come your way. Types of leads are the mets and the haven't mets. Everybody remember what those are? Examples of mets are family, friends, neighbors, home, school, personally do business with like the grocer or the dentist, sports and hobbies, former employers, coworkers, suppliers, organizations, churches. There's any number of ways you can create a list of your mets. It's shocking when I sit down with a new agent and we start writing down what their mets are. They think their mets are the people they've seen that week. They don't realize that they go to the doctor 3 times a year or 4 times a year with the kids. They go to the dentist. All these are mets, right? Okay, now we're back on page 1. That was the last page. All right, everybody got this? The good stuff. You ready? Myth 1. Not all leads are good leads. There are no bad leads in real estate. They're just not all equal. And we talked about this last time. In the internet age, we capture leads quicker than we've ever captured them. In the past, we had people that we didn't get them until they were actually ready to look at a house. Now we get them when they click just to look at a picture. It pulls in an email or something that they're looking. So then when they don't buy, we're going, oh, leads are bad. Well, they're not bad. It explains here. That's not even an issue. When it comes to buyers and sellers that want to do business, you need to find out how motivated are they are right now an A lead, a B, or a C lead. What can you do with them to get business off of them? Some of my best customers have come from people that couldn't buy a house, but I treated them very well. Rita, I'm going to ask you, you work with a lot of buyers. If you take somebody that's a 540 and you do your best to get them bought, and they can't buy, but you treat them right and you get them in a rent house, what do they do for you?
Buy a house and they refer you to their friends.
There you go. They come back and they buy a house and they refer you to your friends. So all leads are good leads. You just have to classify them right. And it's up to us to classify them. And do you have the expertise and the experience to work with that particular lead? If a lead comes in today from Longview, happens to hit your site, well, maybe we don't have the resources to work with a Longview lead today, but we have the resources to refer it to a realtor who can, and we can make a referral. We handed Diana a lead a minute ago from Maine. Guy's got a good accent, doesn't he?
Well, it was a lady actually that answered our voicemail, so I'm guessing it's a team. type of thing.
It is a team type of thing. They're a large team up there. But she got a lead from Maine, of all places, that somebody up there that buys investment property for them now lives in Texas and is looking for a Keller Williams realtor in East Texas. Is that cool? Guy couldn't help him, but he'll pick up some money on Diana, and Diana will pick up a quick sale. He said these people know how to buy. They know the system. That's excellent. She's got a pre-qualified buyer from another agent that has sold them something. So they're a qualified, good buyer, which I think is fantastic. You have to qualify your leads. You have to put them in the order they're in, get them in your database, work the ones, the A's that have to have attention now. Go to your B's, pacify your C's until they move into another category.
So let me ask you a question.
Please.
So let's say you have your database.
Yes, sir.
Which is any number of things.
Yes, sir.
Right? So in my case, it's Microsoft. Okay?
Yes, sir.
How do you categorize your A, B's, C's? I mean, once you put them all in there, then it's like you got to kind of remember, okay, this guy's, more likely that. I mean, you break them down into folders. I mean, I keep mine like buyers, sellers,
I break them into folders. And you can move from folder to folder. Yes, you're right. Buyers, sellers, break them down to buyers and sellers, and then they're movable between, and then A, B, and C, and move them between the folders. Does that make sense?
Maybe hot,
Yeah.
just whatever.
Hot.
I know, like, you can put, like, I usually put, like, categories. If it's like a vendor, I can say,
Absolutely.
Whatever. So you could basically do the same thing.
Absolutely. You categorize them. Your hots you want to hit real often.
Yeah.
Your warms you want to hit so often. Your colds you want to make sure that they don't forget your name.
And then you just move them around.
Move them around as they move into one category or the other. Good, and that's a very good plan, Jimmy. Okay? And and I will tell you, I want to show you something here that is really wonderful. And Rita touched on this, and Jimmy's now touched a little bit on it. This is that guy that can't buy. But you're going to treat him really good, right? And when you treat him really good, anybody ever play pool or go bowling? What happens when you hit that? You get all of these, right? Unless you're me and I'm over here in the gutter, but that's another story, okay? But what happens if you hit that? Now what happens if you don't treat that guy well? Well, you hit him, knock him on through, and you missed every one of these potential clients that could be in your database. This is your met. These are your haven't mets. Okay? What we want to do is take your met, and by giving him exceptional service, get these haven't mets lined up behind him, for lack of a better word, so we can just knock them over with business. Right? It's basic. And do you realize that 90% of the realtors don't do the basics? It's basic. A billion-dollar company was built off the basics, called Keller Williams. It's pretty easy, isn't it? Lead generation is really hard. This is myth number 2. Lead generation is really simple and easy. Be careful you don't confuse effort with enjoyment, okay? The truth there, all right? And Gary Keller tells a story here. He's talking about a lot of people get this confused. They mistakenly believe that if they don't like to do something, even if it's simple or easy, then it's hard to do. And he talks about his son doing the dishes, and it's too hard and it's this. But he found out that if he stayed in the room, if him and his wife stayed in the room talking as his son did his chores, his son didn't complain about them. And his son doesn't mind practicing the guitar because he believes in the end result. The end result is he gets to play beautiful music. Which if you're Gary Keller's son, you're going to play beautiful music because Gary's a beautiful musician. But you understand what I'm saying? So if the end result is us making money and having relationships with our customer and having long-term viability in a business, right? Then we have to learn to like to lead generate. Okay? 3 hours a day. 15 hours a week. Would you give 15